What's going on, man? 1247, the great one, man. 1247. 1247. Yeah. All that good stuff. Yeah, fellas, check this out, man. Check this out. I don't know if anybody told y'all this, but listen, when you call yourself black, right? Just ride me. Just listen to what I gotta say, because it's gonna make sense. When you call yourself black, what you are saying is you are the property of the American black woman. Not only the American black woman, you are the property of the so-called American black community when you call yourself black. And the reason why I say this, I think I said, I told you guys many of times, you are not a part of the black community. The black community is for the female, and it's not for you. So when you say I am black, you're literally saying I am property of the American black woman, and I am property of the American black community. Because you know why? The Kobe Bryant situation is a key example of how calling yourself black can get you into trouble when it comes to resources. I've heard, bro, that thing is about to fall. What? Hold on, let me get finished, dude. That car about to fall, bro. My bad, I had to jump in front of Buddy because he like that vehicle like about to fall off the car. Anyways, my bad. Fellas, case in point, Kobe Bryant. I'll say this again, Kobe Bryant. It's clear. There's a clear point of him being so-called black, and why women had an issue with him giving his resources going to his wife, who was Mexican. See, the thing is, fellas, I don't want to say you're property of this woman in the black community, but Kobe Bryant was a clear indication that he did not belong to himself, meaning he wasn't his own man. Since he was black, that means the black community owned him. Now, the black community owned him, and the black community owned his resources. This is why so many women had an issue with his resources going to the so-called Mexican community, because he was black. Since he was black, that means everything that he produced goes back to the black community. This is how it works, fellas. And nobody's not telling you this. Since you are labeled black, and you call yourself black, and you label yourself black, everything that you produce goes back to the woman, to the ABW, and to the black community. And the thing is, this is how the so-called black community has been surviving ever since the 80s, for the last 40 years. And the Kobe Bryant situation should have opened you guys' mind to you guys, to open you guys' eyes up to what's really going on. These women were really upset that Kobe Bryant's resources, I don't know how many millions of dollars went to his wife, but women were really mad that his resources went to another community and it didn't go to them. Now, I'm not lying. I've heard plenty of women. I heard plenty of panels. I've heard a lot of, especially these boomers and these Generation Xers, they were really upset. How some Kobe Bryant's resources need to go back to his mother, and they need to go back to the community, because this is what it is, fellas. This is what you are here for. You are not here to be your own man. You are here to provide and protect for these group of people that are doing nothing, absolutely nothing for you. This is why when you call yourself black, you're saying you are property of the female and to her community. This is why when you guys get a certain amount of money, this is why the so-called black community comes out in droves with the handout. This is why you get the shaming tactics, because, oh, you're, like I said, you're labeled as black. So since you are labeled as black, your stuff, you and your property belongs to a group of people that are a bunch of degenerates. And Kobe Bryant proved that to you. Like, these Gen X and baby boomers were really mad that none of that stuff he went to, all the stuff that he did goes back to a community that was mad that first of all, he was married to a so-called Mexican woman, or Italian, Mexican, whatever she was. This is why these women get mad when you go outside the so-called black community and get married, because your resources go to somebody else. Your resources, you and your resources go to somebody else. And this is why a lot of times these boomers, these Gen X women get mad at you when you go outside the so-called black community. It's like a concentration camp. You belong. It's like, you know, I'm not talking about the ish people, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you've been branded. You've been tattooed with black. They put this word on you so that your resources and your monies can go back to a group of people that didn't even work. That's not even working with you. See, this is how this game is played. See, the thing is, you labeling yourself as black, your resources and things supposed to go back to a people that, first of all, you probably don't even know. And number two, these people are not calling you. These people are not checking up on you. None of the so-called black communities even asking about you. Only time when the black community comes out with only time the black community comes to even see about you is when you have a significant amount of money. And they do it time and time again. Once so-called black man makes a certain amount of money, that money or whatever his resources go to the black community. Automatically. It's not even up for a discussion. Whatever you make, since you are black, and I told you that word black means woman. So you are property of the black woman. Your sources, your resources are property of the black woman and her community. So whatever you generate goes to her. I know I'm talking in circles, but I'm just letting you guys know, man. You guys got to recognize what time it is. I understand James Brown, black and I'm proud. But fellas, listen, man. Nobody's not telling you that when you put this word, the title black on you, that means you're somebody else's property. And the reason why, it's the last video I did before, like I said, when I said, fellas, stop trying to prove your blackness. Blackness has everything to do with everything being opposite of being productive. So when you go in the black community, you are automatically tell, because once again, you see the people in zombie mode, people doing the same thing, shooting, stealing, cussing and fussing, banging and slanging, slurping and burping. That's what the black community does. But you, as a thinking, productive man, I'm telling you right now, you're not a part of the black community, fellas. If you are being productive, I already told you in the last video, if you are being productive, you are not black. If you're not listening to rap, you are not black. If you're not using slang, you are not black. What else? If you're a female, you don't have a child out of wedlock, you are not black. If you don't have a couple kids out of wedlock, gentlemen, you are not black. This is not me being funny. I'm being dead serious when I say these things. And you guys know, being in these neighborhoods, you know, if you don't act black, you get picked on. If you don't speak, you don't bust a sag. If you don't sag your pants showing your underwear, then you're not black. If you don't use a million curse words, you are not black. If you don't say the word nigga like every other word, you're not black. And if you don't do these things, you're Uncle Tom. I told you this in this last video. But like I said, fellas, you guys using this title, using this black title, like I said, then play this. For you putting the title black on you, that means other people are entitled to your stuff. You using the word black gives these degenerate people entitlement to your resources. So it doesn't matter where you go on planet Earth, as long as you have this word, as long as you have this title black on you, then these degenerate people will always have access to you and to your stuff. Always. It doesn't matter where you go. You can go to the depths of the ocean. As long as you have that word, that title black on you, them Keisha, Boomkusha, and Rodney and Derek can swim to the bottom of the ocean and attach themselves to you because you have the word black attached to you. You guys can go to Venezuela and build you a whole establishment, but if you have the word black attached to you, then Pookie, Ray Ray, and JJ can leave the hood from wherever they are, go to Venezuela, and attach themselves to you automatically. I'm just saying, nobody's telling you this, fellas. Once again, Kobe Bryant was a clear indication that, like I said, for him being so-called black, that his resources, all the millions of dollars, his endorsements and things of that nature, were supposed to go back to a degenerate people. People that had nothing to do with him. Like I said, the so-called ABWs were mad at him because he married that woman. Because they know his resources was going to go to a so-called another community. And like I said, man, fellas, you got to wake up, man. Fellas, gentlemen, you have to wake up. You have to wake up. You have to wake up very quickly. I understand they called you black, but like I said, fellas, man, there's severe consequences and ramifications for you putting this black title on yourself. Number one, all your resources go to people automatically. And once again, you can't come. And the thing is, this is why when people, so-called brothers, productive brothers, make their money, they slide out. They don't say nothing. They just roll. But once they put you on TV and once they put you on magazines and stuff like that, I'm telling you, the black community is coming, and they're coming to get a check. They're coming. Cousins, grandmas, shoot, bunch of friends, they're coming to get something from you. They didn't help you to build nothing, but they're coming to get something from you. This is what happens in the black community all the time. These people don't work for their own, to sustain their own livelihood. These people don't create nothing. But as soon as you, the productive brother, create something, the so-called black community is coming to get something from you. But anyways, man, you guys let me know what you think, man. You guys, like I said, you call yourself black if you want to. I'm telling you right now, you are somebody else's property when you call yourself black. You are somebody else's property. Someone has ownership of you and ownership of your stuff. And you put the title black on you, somebody automatically speaks for you. Somebody, once again, you have to vote a certain way. You have to speak a certain way. You have to act a certain way. You have to live a certain way if you put this word black upon yourself. You do not speak for you when you are black. When you are black, you have to act according to black. If you're not acting according to black, then you're labeled a coon, and an Uncle Tom. This is how it works. Gonna label you as some type of Carlton, even though you have the same hue of flesh. Once again, you are not acting to the according of the black standard, to the black rule book. So we're going to dismiss you until you make a good amount of money. Then whatever your resources is, then you become black again. Then we're coming from your resources. But anyways, fellas, man, you let me know what you think. You can be black if you want to. I'm telling you, you guys don't belong. You guys are somebody else's property when you put the word black on yourself. Black's not a word of empower. Black, all that's a bunch of nonsense, fellas. If you put the word black on yourself, you and your resources belong to the ABW and to her community. You don't have one. You create your community. But if you want to be black, you belong to somebody else. That's all I got to say. It's plain and simple. Anyways, you guys like, share, and subscribe. Peace.